Hello. So in this video, I'll be going through a tougher, more paper 4 style-like mensuration problem. So we have a horizontal container for water, and the cross section is a semicircle. So this part right here is a semicircle. That's a semicircle, and it's given us the radius of the semicircle is 0.45 meters, and the length of the container is 4 meters. So calculate the volume of the container. So the volume of the container, this is a formula you need to know. A volume of a 3D prism, this is a prism. A prism is when the cross section of the entire shape remains constant throughout. So if you have a semicircle here, you'd have the same semicircle here and also here. So the cross section remains uniform. So the volume for a prism is equal to the area of the cross section, the area of the cross section multiplied by the length of the prism. So the area of the cross section is you should know how to find the area of a semicircle. The area of a semicircle is equal to pi r squared. That's the area of a circle divided by 2. So you can obtain a semicircle. And then multiplied by the length, which is 4 meters here. So times 4. So now we can substitute the value of r, 0.45, into this right here. So we get this is equal to pi times 0.45 squared over 2 multiplied by 4. And then if you put this into your calculator, you would get an answer of 1.27 meters cubed. 1.27 to 3 significant figures. 1.27. Okay, so the second part of this question is much more challenging than the first part, because now we're working with a volume of like liquid, which is not the entire semicircle. We're only given the water is only up to this much, only up to a height of 0.3 meters. That's the greatest depth of water in the container. So now this shape no longer is a semicircle. So now they're asking us to find the number of liters of water in the container. So the way to, well, firstly we know our formula for the volume of a prism. It's the area of the cross section times the length. So we need to find the area of this shape and then multiply it by the length, which is still 4 meters here. So how do we find the area of this segment right here? Well, if we draw a straight line from here to the center of the circle, or the semicircle, like that. Now, if we include this part in, we have a sector. And we also have some additional information. Since we know that the radius is 0.45 meters, and this is 0.3 meters, this height, therefore this much must be 0.15 meters. So that they add up to 0.45 meters as the radius. And now another important information, piece of detail we have, is this length right here is the radius. Since it goes from the center of the circle to the outside of the circle, it touches the edge of the circle. So therefore the radius it's given to us is 0.45 meters. So that's equal to 0.45 meters. 0.45 meters. So now we know how to calculate the area of a sector. All we have to do is find the measure of this angle right here. So let that angle be theta. So therefore the area of the sector is equal to theta over 360, because it's a fraction of an entire circle. So the entire circle is 360 degrees, and theta is how many degrees is we have here. So that gives us the fraction of the entire circle, that is the area, multiplied by pi r squared. This is the formula you should know for an area of a sector. So now how do we find theta? Well, we have two triangles here. Let me redraw this. But we have one triangle right here, which is right angled. This is right angled. So let's redraw that here. We have a right angled triangle. We have two right angled triangles, and this is theta. And this length is 0.45 meters, and this height is 0.15 meters. So now if we redraw one of the triangles separately, this angle is theta over 2. Since we know that these two triangles are congruent because they share a common side, this side right here, and they also share another common side, not a common side, a side of equal length, which is this one and this one. They're equal length. Since 0.3 is the maximum depth of the water in the container, so therefore this point right here must be the midpoint. So that's how we know that these two are equal side lengths. And finally, we have the same 90-degree angle in between. So the triangles are congruent by side angle side. So therefore, the measure of this angle in one triangle is theta over 2. And then we have our 90-degree triangle. So let's just label this 0.45 meters. And this is 0.15 meters. So now, relative to this angle, we have an adjacent side as well as the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So whenever we have adjacent and hypotenuse side, we think of cosine. So cosine of the angle, right, theta over 2, is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is equal to 0.15 over 0.45. Therefore, theta over 2 is equal to cos inverse of 0.15 over 0.45. And finally, we get that we can find out the measure of angle theta, which is 2 times cos inverse of 0.15 over 0.45. And that gives us an angle. If we put that into our calculator, that gives us an angle of 141.05 ... degrees. So now we have our angle. We can use this formula now for the area of the sector. So therefore the area of the sector is equal to 141.05 ... over 360 times pi r squared, and the radius of the semicircle is 0.45 meters. So pi times the radius squared. And then if you put this into a calculator, we get that the area of the sector is equal to 0.2492 meters meters squared. So now we have the area of the sector, but still we only want this this gray area right here, the shaded area. So the way to do that is we now take the area of the entire sector, the area of this entire sector, and we subtract the area of these two triangles right here. So now if you see after we subtract, we'll be left with just this shaded area here. So what we need to do now is to find the area of one triangle right here. We have to find the area of both triangles. So the way we can do that is, let me redraw the triangle. This is the angle theta, which we've calculated, and this is 0.45 meters, as well as this side, since they both are the radius of the circle, 0.45 meters. So now we can use another important formula, the formula for the area of a triangle, which is equal to 1/2 times AB sine theta, where theta is the included angle between the sides A and B. The included angle means the angle that is in between the sides, and we can see this angle is indeed in between these two sides. So therefore the area of this triangle is 1/2 times 0.45, which is the side length of one side, and then multiplied by 0.45, which is the length of the other side, multiplied by sine theta, which we've calculated here as 141.05. 141.05. And now if we put this into a calculator, we get that the area of this blue triangle right here, the area of this entire blue triangle, is equal to 0.0636 meters squared. So now that we have the area of the sector, this is the area of the sector, and this is the area of the triangle. Now we can subtract the area of the triangle from the area of the sector to obtain just this shaded gray area right here. So now we get that the shaded area is equal to 0.2492 minus 0.0636. And if you put this into your calculator, you'll get an answer of 0.1856 meters squared. So this is the area of the shaded area. This is the shaded area, the gray part of this, the segment. This is the area of the segment. Area of segment. This is the gray shaded area, the area of the segment right here. That's equal to 0.1856 meters squared. So now we can apply our same formula. The volume is equal to the area of cross section times length. Now we have the area of the cross section. We can multiply it by the length of the prism, which is 4 meters. It's still 4 meters. So therefore the volume is equal to the area of the cross section, 0.1856 multiplied by 4 meters. That's the length. And that will give you an answer of 0.7425 ... meters cubed. But now the units that they're asking us in is liters. So we need to convert the meters cubed into liters. So this is another thing you should know. 1 meter cubed, 1 cubic meter is equal to 1,000 liters. This is a fact which you should know for the IGCSE exam. 1 meter cubed is equal to 1 cubic meter is equal to 1,000 liters. So now what we do is we take this to convert. So now we have this answer right here, and we want to see how many liters that is. So to do that, we multiply by 1,000. So 0.7425 multiplied by 1,000 is equal to 742.5 liters. Now we have it in liters, in terms of liters. So whenever you have some cubic meters, you always multiply by 1,000 to obtain the number of liters. So now we have 742.5, and the last thing to do is to round it to 3 significant figures. And that is our answer right here. 743 liters is the number of liters of water in the container. 743. So yeah, that was a pretty challenging problem from the IGCSE course. I hope this video helps. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment any other videos, problems you'd like me to go through. Thank you very much.